close our eyes and then we're going to see God. And He's going to hold us and kiss us and never let us go. Yes? Okay, well I hope it makes a difference in our attitude. Because if we're really believing St. Paul, everything needs to change. A lot of our attitude needs to change. And we have to do a lot of soul searching, go way down deep into the negativity and kind of have it removed. I feel very guilty. Have it removed. Get surgery. You know? There is surgery for that. It's called St. Paul. Just read him. He makes a lot of sense. Not that we go out of our way, as some young people would conclude, well, since we're saved and we're all winners, then I can do whatever the hell I want. No. Well, that's not the way to respond to perfect love. We don't have to go out of our way to do bad things. Don't worry, it's going to come. They come anyway. Just by the fact that we're stupid, as that chapter starts. Just by that fact. Because we forget who we are. We forget who's saving us. We try and do stuff on our own. We have short memories. So we do stupid stuff. We don't have to go out of our way. However, once we're convinced of God's unconditional love, then what happened to St. Paul can happen to us. New life. Read chapter 2, verse 20. Chapter 2, verse 20. There it is, black and white. No longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. That was Bishop Fitzpatrick's coat of arms in Latin. Oh, it is no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. You're not really seeing me, you're supposed to see Christ. And St. Paul, that was his lemma, so to speak, his theme, over and over. Saints are the sort of folks who are aware of their weakness, but never doubt God's love for them. That's a saint. I didn't say they were perfect, I didn't say they don't sin. Most of our saints have been notorious sinners, but they never doubt God's love. That's what makes a person a saint. Don't you want to be a saint? How many here want to be saints? Okay, the rest of you are going to go to hell. Because those are the only two options. Those are the only two options. Purgatory is just a way station. If you're in purgatory, you're already a saint. Just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. You don't go to purgatory and then go to hell. That's not our teaching. Purgatory is just a matter of time. Those people, that's why we say the holy soul. We don't say the damn soul. Say the holy souls in purgatory. Because they're going to get out of there. So either you're called to be a saint or you're going to go to hell. Let's make up our mind. How many want to be saints? Raise your hand. Now that's better. Thank you. I thought so. It's our illusion and our false image of saints. So we got to get in touch that those folks who are saints are no different from us. And whatever we say of the Blessed Mother, we have to say of ourselves. The same. Otherwise, the church would be so cruel to say, here's our model of holiness, be like her. That would be cruel if we can't. If we could never reach where she is. Cruel and unjust. It's like holding a carrot in front of a mule. No? And never letting it eat it. Hey, carrot. Nice image, right? Chapter 3, verse 24. until Christ came, so that we might be justified by faith. But now that faith has come, we are no longer subject to the disciplinarian, etc., etc. So those two verses are the human development in the course of history has changed. The Hebrew Scriptures are our foundation, very important to who we are. So we're not making fun of Moses. We're not making fun of the law. St. Paul wasn't making fun. He's saying it's no longer necessary. You put it aside. And you get on, you grow up. Some of our issues in life we will never solve, we will only outgrow. Like some folks that indeed come to confession, they say they have this problem, blah, blah, blah. I say, come in 50 years, you won't have it anymore. And that's the way you sort of just like, well, sir, sometimes some things you have to give them time. And until you take your last breath, God is not through with you. We are all a work in progress and should never be discouraged, no matter how old we are or how young we are. We're all a work in progress. So human development, at the time the commandments were written, needed that. Humanity needed that law. But St. Paul says, look, we've never been able to keep our end of the bargain anyway. Let's face facts. So look at chapter 3, verse 11 and 12. That's what he's saying. I got to step on the gas here. That's what he's saying. And then in verse 13 of that same chapter, he says, the one to whom we were sacrificing became the sacrifice. He died on a tree. Cursed be the one, and cursed be the one that dies on the tree. Well, he became the sacrifice. The altar, the priest, and the sacrifice. All in one, on the cross. Okay? I better be quiet there, otherwise I won't give you any time for questions. Was I so clear? Any questions? No? Historical evidence about what happened, about their reaction to Galatians. Well, they're still around. No? I mean, Galatia is in where? It tells you there, and so in the introduction we had. Is there any evidence of what happened, how they received this letter? Maybe they sent it return to sender? Any evidence, Father?
No, I don't think there is. But they had migrated from another part of Europe and into that part of it. It's called Galatia. They're called Gaul. So they were, so they had migrated centuries before. That's why they were called Galatians.
I think it's stuck. And they probably took it in stride. It made a difference. Look what it's done for us. Look what that letter has done for us. And I think that's more significant than those 50 folks who heard it earlier. That this has been printed in so many languages, published all over the world, and St. Paul has made a difference. Because we can't help but read ourselves into it, no? Can't help but read ourselves into it. Like I said, look, you're looking at a mirror. We're looking at a mirror. He's talking about me. I get accused of that a lot. About my sermons. Once a year, you're supposed to keep confidence. You weren't supposed to tell all about me at the pulpit. I'm not talking about you. I just make my sermons in general, no? Oh. Sometimes the shoe fits. But so St. Paul would say the same thing. He's talking, I think, about human nature. This could have fit almost any of his communities. But he has specific problems there, issues. True freedom comes not from doing what we want, but by living for God. Really living for God. And we'll see that later on about slavery and freedom. Okay? To be continued. Thank you all. Good night.